Hello everyone, welcome to today's live stream. Welcome you all to Strike's daily live streams. So, if these streams have been helpful for you, please do watch, like, share, and subscribe our channel and share with everyone you think it would be helpful. So, before we begin, you can uh, just log on to our website, that is web.strike.money, and use all these tools and do your own analysis. So, we'll start in a minute. Just a second. Yeah, so as the title suggests, that today we will learn how to use different diffusion indicators to judge different tops and bottoms in the market. So without any further delay, I'll just start that. And once we complete that portion, then we'll switch to having a look at today's market action and even scan stocks for the coming days. Right. So let me share my screen. Yeah, without any further delay, I'm going to the diffusion indicators. So what's the meaning of diffusion is when you run a certain criteria across a basket of stocks, right? So we have given baskets like Nifty 50, 500 and all. So Nifty 50 being the headline index and Nifty 500 the broader index. So I'll start with the top down approach. So let's say percentage of stocks above 200 SMA. So what this means is it tells you that certain percentage of stocks are above trading above their 200-day moving average for an index. So I've gone into a 200-day average, which is a very long-term indicator. So let's zoom out a bit. So once you have such data plotted against the index, you can see the behavior of the market. So as you can see, if I start studying it from this significant low, let me put an arrow here. Yeah. So this was a significant low, let's say from the COVID lows, and you can see only 6% or 5% of the Nifty stocks were trading above the 200-day average, which is a very oversold rate. And from there on, the rally started, and there was strong participation from all the sectors. And in the later stages of the bull markets, you can see the participation was slowly decreasing, and we had a medium-term top here. So if I have to draw a range for this indicator, you can see that during a strong bull market, it stays above the 80 zone for a while, and when it finally breaks down from there is when you get a long-term reversal signal, and from there on, again once it reaches the oversold zone here is when you would expect a long-term bottom to be in place. You can see that the levels we saw in the June of 2022 have not been repeated again because the market reached a very oversold zone wherein only 10-15% of the Nifty 500 stocks were above the 200 day. Now, once you get a hang of it on the long term, all you want to do is look at a shorter term version of the same to capture the cycles, in their same way. So, if I go to a shorter term average, maybe the 50-day average. So I'm again switching back to Nifty 500. Yeah. So on the 500, you would see that, oh, sorry, on the 50-day average, you would see that it gives you cycles like this when the number of stocks above 50 km come down to about what 40 in the bull market phase and all the way down to 10 in the sideways or the consolidation market kind of thing. So once you have determined that the trend is oversold and we are here from here we are trending, the probability of trending higher is good, then you can switch to a shorter term average to capture the cycles. So I'm coming back to the 20-day, which is a fairly short term indicator. So 20-day average is a good uh, indicator for short term trend. So you can see here proper cycles. The indicator goes to above 80 or so, and then we get a small pullback, 80, and then again pullback. But the only thing is there can be negative divergences like this, and it doesn't mean every time it goes to 80 you will have a market top. So Once the larger time frame you have decided that yeah, this is the direction to be in, then the shorter time frame cycles help you to get shorter term oversold overbought reading. So you can see that readings like 12 or 15 are very oversold. So right now I'm showing an example. This one back in 2020, the reading was 12 and the market bottomed at that level and rallied hard. So similar examples can be seen that the readings below 20 are very short-term bounce can be expected, be it a bull market or a sideways market. Now, when you enter a market like this, whereas the market is in an up-down mode, up, down, you will see very clear cycles. The indicator gets overbought, market sold off, oversold. Again, you get a cycle of performance, and then again, so on. So depending upon the type of market you are in, which you can decide on the basis of your longer time frame indicators. Based on that, you can trade on the shorter cycle. So if we are to look at what's happening right now, then you can see we are developing a negative divergence with the stocks above 20-day average on the Nifty 500, but it is in this particular range. So if it breaks down from this range, it can be a risk, so that one should be aware of. But if we look at the same on Nifty 50, then it is already broken down and came down to about 30, and from there started to recover as well. So you have to look into each index for its own, because in this last few days Nifty has been actually underperforming. If I look at the mid cap, which has been an outperformer, then you will see that the stocks have held their own and the 20-day averages have not broken. Now, this was a simple example of moving averages. Now, the same diffusion can be done on many other things. So I'll show the RMI as well. So RMI, as you all know, is a proprietary indicator on the momentum cycles. So in this, we will just see that whether the stock is in a bullish mode on the RMI or a bearish mode, and based on that, we'll assign a rating. So when the reading is very low, like about 10-20, which means only 10 or only 20% of the stocks have their RMI reading in bullish mode. So that way, similar way, it can help you get shorter term cycles of overbought and oversold zones. Similar calculation we have replicated on the MACD. You can see the signals are there, but slightly different, since MACD is moves differently from RMI, and we have also created the same on other indicators like RSI or ADX. So, for example, on RSI, we'll see how many stocks have their RSI above 50. So, above 50 RSI represents that the trend is in a strong mode, right? But when this indicator also gets oversold, which means very few stocks are above RSI of 50, then that is when you can get a shorter term bounce in the markets. So you can play around with all these tools and get a hang of it to judge, to catch a short term or a long term bottom or a top in the markets. So all these have to be used in along with other forms of analysis in conjunction to other tools you may like, and so on. So just get over to web.strike.money and use them, and let me know if you have any questions, any doubts regarding any of the indicators, and we'll try to solve all the doubts. So let's get back to today's market. So in today's session, only 14 Nifty stocks are up and 226 Nifty 500 stocks are up, while 270 are down. In terms of sectoral performance, PSU banks and consumer durables are on the top, and media and pharma, healthcare, FMCG all are at bottom. Majority of the sectors being flat to bearish. Only PSU banks seems to have a lot of strength. In terms of options, OI, Nifty 19,500 and 19,600 have fairly large call writing for the 17th expiry, and for Bank Nifty 44,500 has a lot of call writing. So 44,500 remains the key level for Bank Nifty to cross on the upside, below which there is weakness can persist. In the FNO segment, again, bears have been more active. 93 stocks are showing short build-up and only 53 are showing long build-up. Let's have a look at Nifty Bank Nifty chart along with the FIDI data, and then we'll move on to scanners for today and try to find stocks. So FI have been net buyers for 2 days. In terms of derivatives, what they have done is, so yesterday's data was quite bearish. They shorted in futures, in futures of index, stock futures. Also sold a lot of calls and puts. So the data is bearish for FIs on that front. In terms of Nifty's chart, yeah. So back to Nifty's chart, MACD is bearish. RSI is back below 50, so there is not an overheated RSI anymore. If we are to draw a trend line from here, then we haven't been able to really cross this trend line, which remains a key level in the very short term. A breakout point will be around 19,575. In terms of moving averages as well, 20-day average is now at 19,660 and 10 days at 19,573. So basically 10-day average and the trend line is at the same level below which the weakness can persist. Let's see if there's anything interesting on the hourly. So not yet. Even the hourly averages are broken as of now. For the Bank Nifty, which has been even more weak than the Nifty. Yeah, so you can see Bank Nifty is already broken this 3rd of August low, which Nifty has not. In terms of moving averages, it has also broken 50-day average, and the 100-day average is quite far as of now. Right. So let's go get back to the performance for today and try to look for stocks. So on a day like this, if a sector is up, it means that a sector has strength. So we can look further into PSU bank charts as well to look for possible opportunities as well, and also look for signals in other sectors based on the Dow theory or the RMI scan. So let me go to the scanners. So I've selected the live mode with for the FNO basket alone, and here if I filter just down to up, then we are getting these stocks in the Dow trend, which are changing their trend from down to up. So there are some names, HCL Tech in top. So you can see two PSU banks popping up here as well. One is PNB and the State Bank of India as well. So these are the stocks from the sector that is upmost today's session. Okay. Now we'll also check the stocks popping up in Rohit scanner as well. So also note that since today is Friday, uh, 1 second, I've got a few comments. How to select a stock for next day trading EOD analysis? It's Dow trend RMN time frame. Yeah. So see, if you're looking at the daily time frame, then the trade can be taken for 4 to 5 day period, not just one day. And if you're trading very short term, then hourly signals have to be looked for. But in the direction of what you're seeing on the larger time frame, that is a combination of 2 or 3 time frames. Okay, someone is asking for the timing. So yeah, we do this stream at 2:30 p.m. daily, and yeah, we'll try to do it in Hindi as well. So I am in the Rohit scanner for the FNO basket. Let's see if there are any new signals. There are lot more new sell signals than new buy signals. So you have to get into each one and do your further analysis. And based on the setup, you can decide your action. So once you decide a certain stock based on your charting and the indicators, that is when you can go ahead to this section, stock section of that stock, and look for the trade setup. So you can I just did a hourly filter on the new buy. So you see this new buy signal popping up on five stocks in the last hour. So hourly is a very short term indicator. You can start from there and move up based on your time frame. So hourly confirmations will obviously come first, followed by daily and weekly. So let's just look at weekly as well, since today is Friday. So on weekly basis, you can see only one new buy signal is there and a lot of new sell. So this is a indication of that the momentum is losing on a weekly time frame basis. So that is how you can decide which direction you can trade in based on larger time frame. But to be able to get the proper entries exit, you'll have to go to a shorter time frame. So for example, here Godrej Properties has popped up on a weekly sell. We can go to the stock section. See, on a weekly basis, uh, it is giving a fresh sell signal, and on a daily chart, all the confirmations are already in sell mode. So we go one step further down to hourly. Yeah. So in hourly, you can see it is right now trading above the 20-hour average, and the hourly Dow trend is up as well, and the RMI is in a buy mode as well. So this on a hourly chart, if we get any fresh sell signal, one can, you know, I look at this that I would consider a downward trade from here on, but provided that the risk reward is good. Now on this particular chart, it seems like it has already run down a lot, so it would be better to wait a bit. Right. So I think we forgot to look at the weekly Dow trend signals. Yeah, on the Dow as well, most of the signals are up to down. That is, the trend is changing from up to down, and few are down to up as well. So next step, say similar analysis you got to do based on uh, what you want to trade in. So right now, these results are few because I have selected only FNO basket. So if you are a cash market trader, you can select a broader index like Nifty 500 and get your signals. Right. Any other questions for today, or we can end the broadcast? Okay, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you all on Monday now with a new topic for that day and trying to find trades. Thank you.